Today is the first Sunday of the whole year, so we start off with our burning bowl. And I know you can't see it online here, but right down here, we have a little bowl with a candle and some incense. And I saw a meme earlier this week, one of my friends put up. It was like the fire department coming out because everybody was saging so much and doing so much incense at the start of 2021. I don't know, I thought it was pretty funny. It's like, let's start off with all the cleansing available. So we are here this morning to start the new year and to acknowledge that Christ's light that's always present in everyone. And we're going to light our candle and read the daily word. And the daily word for today, which is great, is potential. It's potential, which is what starting new is all about, is potential. The reading's from Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Potential. Yes, I am able, and yes, I can. Once again, our reading for the day is from Philippians. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. And it is potential. Yes, I am able, and yes, I can. Yes, I am able, and yes, I can. Growing up, we received encouragement from our family and school teachers and the other adults in our life. Their positive, affirming words help lead us to pursue our passions and trust gifts so that we might all realize our fullest potential. Now that we are older, we turn to the divine within ourselves, that light that shines within us to discern how we might best fulfill our potential. We prayerfully ask what possibilities remain to be realized in our life. What ignites our passions for self-expression? We receive inspiration from the time we spend in prayer. And as we pray, any lingering thoughts of doubt or insecurity are replaced with renewed energy and enthusiasm. Nothing can stop us from stepping out boldly into the world to fulfill our potential. Yes, we can. Yes, we are able. And that is perfect for the burning bowl ceremony. Absolutely perfect. And those of you that are at home, if you have a little slip, you want to light a candle and do the ceremony with us. When we get to that part, you just need a little piece of paper and a candle and a pencil. Okay. Like I said at the beginning, today is our burning bowl ceremony, the tongue twister. And it's an opportunity to start new. You know, and we actually did a version of this ceremony a couple months ago because we were all feeling so heavy. And it's a nice way to remind ourselves that even though we turn the calendar and it's a new year, that we can start new any time we want. It's a choice. And my son actually reminded me of this, and I put up his little quote on my Facebook page, what he said the one night, a couple nights ago. And I said something about New Year's. I asked them, I know what it was. I asked them if they wanted to go with me to go get snacks for New Year's. And they both declined to go get snacks. I was like, what is going on? You're actually going to say you don't want a snack? What? And it's New Year's? And my 13-year-old says, well, I don't get it. The calendar is man-made, right? So you can have New Year's anytime you want. So we have enough snacks in the house for now. We'll get more later and we'll do it then. I was like, do you know what you just said? Do you know how profound that is, or what you just said, that we can just start anytime we want and have the celebration? And he gave me this look. I don't know if you've ever seen Big Bang Theory, Sheldon, where he's just like, duh, like the whole world is duh. I just said this thing, and why don't you, what? It's just normal. And that's the look he gave me. And I'm like, geez, he's right. You know, we can start anytime. You know, we don't have to have a date on the calendar to say, I want to express a newness or make a different choice, or any of that. I also saw a meme right about the same time where there were two people standing in front of a dumpster that was on fire. And one said me, the other one said 2021, and the dumpster was labeled 2020. And I'm like, okay, well, we are having our burning bowl. I don't know that we have to have a dumpster fire for it. But again, it's just another visual that, you know, it's that light and that expression and that just getting rid of, you know, can happen anytime. It's how we choose to proceed. And sometimes it's hard to choose, you know, and we've been practicing that gratitude for a couple of months now to remind ourselves that in the midst of feeling heavy, that there's always something we can find for gratitude. So when we burn, it's a release, right? And here in this building, we talk a lot about denials, but denials are really that release. It's that exhale moment. It's that getting rid of expectations and recognizing healing. I know we talk a lot about it burning up so we don't need it anymore, but we're putting it in light, right? And changing the essence of that when we put it into the light. So it's not just so much burning as in transmuting it, giving it a newness. It's like we go right to the chemical part of it. You know, it changes into something new when we give it to the light. I want to take us through a meditation before I give you any more thoughts about that. And in the meditation, we're going to exhale a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm going to invite you to write down on your papers anything that you would like to give to the light, anything in that exhale moment that you're going to pass on. And there should be pencils in the back of those chairs for those that are here, and at home, find your own. For those of you at home, you can choose the candle to concentrate on and put into your own candle at home. For those of you that are here, there's a bowl right in front with a candle that you can place your paper in. But after we go through the exhale, I'm going to ask you to write down. And then if you choose to come forward and put it in the light, you can do that while the music's playing. And then we come back, I'll do the second part of the meditation. All right? So if you take just a moment and exhale, because that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to work on that exhale. We're going to recognize anything in us that to exhale, to write down, to release, to put into the light. And if you could, with each time and with your own breath pace, when you hear the words on your exhale, allow that word to flow through the exhale. Recognizing all the sensations in our body, recognizing any thoughts or memories or visions that come up in that exhale. Exhaling anger, releasing and healing. Exhaling sadness, releasing and healing. Feeling fear, releasing and healing. Exhaling disgust, releasing and healing. Exhaling anxiety, releasing and healing. Exhaling guilt, releasing and healing. Exhaling frustration, releasing and healing. Exhaling shame, releasing and healing. Exhaling boredom, releasing and healing. Exhaling loneliness, releasing and healing. Exhaling envy, releasing and healing. Exhaling annoyance, releasing and healing. Exhaling embarrassment, releasing and healing. Exhaling jealousy, releasing and healing. Exhaling contempt, releasing and healing. Exhaling hatred, releasing and healing. Exhaling depression, releasing and healing. Exhaling resentment, releasing and healing. Exhaling worry, releasing and healing. Exhaling remorse, releasing and healing. And as the music plays, anything you'd like to write to release into the flame, and then come up in your own time to put in. Something's changing, I can't see. I'm stuck in what I want to say. I ain't where I'm supposed to be. I can look up for something more. Look up for something I never felt before. I feel the cold for something more. I feel the cold inside my skin. What am I here for? What am I here
for? What am I here for? They say that pain pushes to the vision that goes. It feels like my safety nets have fallen down. I wish I had a map of where to go. I got this feeling in my soul. When I get there, I will know. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call of something I've never done before. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call that sounds in. What am I here for? 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 So today I do declare, I'll take that step in faith and let my light shine. Oh, I feel the call of something more. I feel the call of something I've never seen before. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call to be someone I've never been before. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call that sounds in. What am I here for? 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 Hey, hey. Just can't love some love. Just love. Just love. Just love.
You have a second sheet of paper with you. And after this next part of the meditation, I'll ask you to write down your affirmation, your personal affirmation that comes to you for the year 2021. We've exhaled, and we need to inhale. So with each inhale, we embrace and acknowledge feelings of love. Inhaling and recognizing love. Inhaling and recognizing compassion. Inhaling, recognizing peace. Inhaling and recognizing happiness. Inhaling and recognizing satisfaction. Inhaling and recognizing pride. Inhaling, recognizing gratitude. Inhaling, recognizing amusement. Inhaling, recognizing awe. Inhaling, recognizing hope. Inhaling, recognizing admiration. Inhaling, recognizing euphoria. Inhaling, recognizing healing. Inhaling, recognizing wholeness. Inhaling, recognizing joy. Inhaling, recognizing caring. Inhaling, recognizing serenity. Inhaling, recognizing curiosity. Inhaling, recognizing elevation. Inhaling, recognizing optimism. Embrace both the inhale and the exhale. Both are part of this experience of life. And in this moment of reflection, if you have an affirmation for yourself that's come to mind, you can write it down at this time. All our feelings, all our experience, all the exhales and the inhales serve a purpose and are important. You don't put one in, you don't put your exhale into a negative category and your inhale into a positive, or vice versa. You need them both in order to survive and experience and to thrive. And we notice the breath, we recognize the breath as that connection with all that is. So that connection is everything. You know, we can think of emotions as our signals. So for example, these are just a couple examples. If we're feeling anger, then we know there's a problem in ourselves that we're recognizing. There's a problem that we need to solve. There's a push to move someplace, either emotionally or physically or whatever. We need to move. In joy, we recognize an opportunity. You know, maybe we want to experience that more or explore that more. With sadness, there's usually a loss somewhere, you know, some kind of loss. And do we take the time to stop and clarify what's all around that sadness? And we're feeling trust, then we know we feel safe, you know, and it's an ability or an opportunity to connect with whatever it is and however we are at that moment in that space of trust. So, you know, negative feelings don't mean that there's something wrong with us, but there's a recognition of a choice present and how we want to further that experience or to recognize what that emotion is telling us or expressing to us. You know, the inhale and the exhale. We get to experience both. And we don't often think of it, but that's a gift. That's an extreme gift in order to be able to experience the gamut and then have a choice on what to do with that. A little bit of science, but as humans and perceiving the world around us, we experience life as either an opportunity or a threat. And they've measured that chemically. We don't need to get into all that, but each emotion has some kind of chemical reaction to us or within us. You know, is that an opportunity or a threat? And both, whether we're recognizing it as opportunity or threat in the moment, leaves room for choices. You know, do we decide to leave that behind? Do we maneuver around it? You know, what do we do? This is a quote from Marilyn Ferguson. She said, "Fear is a question. What are you afraid of and why? Just as the seed of health is in illness, because illness contains information, your fears are a treasure house of self-knowledge if you explore them." So sometimes I think we use the burning bowl as to just throw everything in there we don't want to deal with. You know, let's just write it down and be done with it. We're going to burn it up and we don't have to deal with it anymore. And yet it's just an extreme opportunity to really look and explore any fear we have about anything. You know, and take like I said, it lights it up. What do we notice about ourselves? And what can we notice moving into that next stage? Again, we exhale and we inhale. And we replenish on the inhale, and the exhale, we get rid of maybe what we don't need. But there's always that moment of replenish. And there's always a pause. You notice when you breathe, if you really pay attention, there's this itty bitty pause between the exhale and the inhale. You know, it's like you even get to choose the inhale. You get to choose the exhale. There's this little pause in between of recognition, of being very present. So moving forward this year, I like to pose, you know, that we remember or we take stock in that one is not better than the other. We need both to survive. And that light will help us with that expression and finding that allowing to grasp and to see what it is in those moments between the breaths that maybe we can pay a little more attention to. And And that's an ability to succeed, or an opportunity, I should say, to succeed. It's a little poem from Ralph Waldo Emerson. My tongue is just completely tied today. I want to leave you with as our prayer and reflection at this time of the burning bowl. He says, to laugh often and much, to win the respect of the intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the beauty in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to know that one life has breathed easier because you have lived here. This is what it means to have succeeded. Amen.